So I'm here to speak to you this afternoon about the second AIM statement, which is to support advances in the understanding of the experience of living with and beyond these cancers and the development of interventions to improve the experience. So I hope my story and the work that I'm doing will help bring this AIM statement to life through the power of the patient voice, through collaborative working and advocacy and signposting. So about 10 years ago, I was a busy working mum, fit and healthy, no medical history, and no reason to suspect that anything was wrong. But for about 18 months, I bounced between my GP and dentist. I had a pain across my neck that then started to shoot over my face and was getting dismissed back with minor issues rather than answers to these symptoms. But deep down I knew that there's something wasn't quite right. And eventually I was diagnosed with adenoid cystic carcinoma. And so my journey, like many of ours here in the room, began one of uncertainty and fear. So treatment was quite grueling and consisted of multiple surgeries and radiotherapy. Because of the extent of the surgeries, I had to quite simply learn to walk again, talk again, eat and drink again. And these are functions that we take for granted. And so, it's not just living with the acute effects of the treatment that saved my life, but it's the challenges of living beyond. And I know Emma will touch on that later. But my journey didn't end with treatment. I've become involved with the charity about 4 years ago, and I'm part of the research working groups that Rob mentioned earlier. And it's here that I've really found my voice, not just for myself, but for others. An example of this is my involvement in the work that Sam shared earlier. I'm involved in that working group looking at improving the diagnostic pathway. So I've been able to share my experience, share the challenges and the pitfalls in that diagnostic pathway. And by contribution to that work, we can see that it's going to go along informing those guidelines that Sam mentioned. So I really do believe that as patients, we bring a unique understanding to the table. We know what it's like to have our symptoms overlooked and know what it's like to feel isolated or to face the unknown. And by sharing our experiences, along with our clinicians and researchers, we can help them to perhaps see beyond that data and start to see the real lives behind that. And collaboration is at the heart of all of that progress, of that work that is happening in the research working groups, but also through partnership and work that I do more locally in my hospital and regionally across Essex. And I see the power of working together. I work in the NHS. I am a nurse by background. I currently work in transformation. But when we come together and join our forces, we can start to identify those gaps and start driving forward meaningful change. Advocacy for me is more than sharing my story. It's about signposting people to the great work that the charity does. So when I see my dentist, I take along flyers and talk to other healthcare professionals who are involved in my care but may not know an awful lot about this rare disease. I also help out with the charity in hosting stalls at different events, and it's really nice to share and navigate people to the website page, because by raising awareness and empowering others, we can really help to ensure that no one feels isolated or alone. So finally, living with and beyond salivary gland cancer, it is a journey. It is one that is filled with challenges, but there are also glimmers of hope for a better tomorrow and definitely a better future. Because in the face of the challenges that we all face, we as patients, we're not just recipients of care, we are partners in change and improving this experience. So thank you for listening.